Good morning. Welcome to First Parish Brewster. We are a Unitarian Universalist, welcoming congregation of people of diverse philosophies and beliefs, people of various cultures and races, sexual orientations, gender identities, abilities, and socioeconomic backgrounds. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your path, may this be a place of rest and restoration on your journey. I'm Twinks Hastings, Director of Lifespan Religious Education, happy to be welcoming you to the service today with our worship leaders, John Kalb and Margaret Rice-Moore, and our music director, Kaisa Fern. Our services are recorded and available on our YouTube channel midweek. Masks are now optional in worship, although we do have that back right-hand area where masks are required. At First Parish, we also welcome and celebrate our children and youth and the gifts they bring to our community, along with their noises, movements, and mirth. Please take a moment to silence your cell phone. For those of you who are first-time visitors this morning, welcome. If you would like to learn more about First Parish, please fill out a welcome card found in the back of the pew in front of you and place it in the offertory basket. There's also a very new handy-dandy pamphlet in the pews that has helpful information to welcome you to our church. Welcome on this morning, which we make sacred by our presence together. A big welcome to people who are streaming. We are so glad you're here. Wave at them. In community news announcements, next Sunday we are holding our second workshop to review and possibly update our mission statement. This one is designed for folks who couldn't make it to the first workshop. So please don't come if you came the first time. We will be holding, that sounds very unwelcoming. We're just trying to make sure everyone's voice is heard. We will be holding 2 more first round workshops, one by Zoom and one for families with children. But next Sunday is for anyone who was not able to make it to the first workshop. The mission work is an important step in preparing for our search committee to set out in their work. And we really want to hear everyone and for everyone's voice to be part of the process. So please, if you haven't joined this work, mark your calendars for next Sunday after coffee hour. Lunch will be provided and we'll have you out by 1 p.m., we promise. If you have any questions, you can ask Elenita today, who is usually behind the coffee table. Elenita, do you want to wave? She's right up in the balcony there. So find her if you have questions. And our second announcement is this year First Parish is going to have a float in the Brewster and Bloom Parade. Yay. Very grateful to 2 of our families, Katie and Laura, who have taken on this project for us. So if anyone would like to be involved, ride on the floats, or help to create the art, please find me after the service. Welcome to worship. It is so good to be together.
I was born for joy. I think we all are. But each morning when I awake, the first thing I do is scroll through my phone for the biggest news. Then I let it go and try and move comfortably into what brings joy, what brings amazement, and what is still awesome and beautiful and miraculous on this day. Sometimes I can do it, but oftentimes I'm caught slogging dispiritedly through the sludge of meanness, loneliness, disparity, and othering. And I am brought low, despite my best intentions, to leave such disappointments behind. In times like those, I can feel the me I was meant to be, the us we were all meant to be, being drained of our right to live harmoniously, side by side, safely in beloved community. Not just we who are human, but all, everything that is natural in the world, everything that lives, everything that is yes. In such times, I feel cheated, especially because I am one of the lucky ones, secure in so many ways that others are not. This ongoing systemic failure will not soon shift, and I try so hard to keep believing in a better future for the 7 generations who will follow us. I try, but I find I cannot do it alone. I need you. I need you. Your rapt attention and thoughtful commitment to words and deeds of hope and inspiration. Your unrelenting efforts to make a difference in someone's life. Maybe someone you know. Maybe the unknown millions who are trying to survive in horrific wars, climate debacles, poverty, and crime, and political brutality. You save me. You remind me of what is good and what is sacred in this life. So when I forget, I reluctantly pull my tired self out of bed on Sunday morning because I know I will be reminded of why we live. We live to love each other, to honor each other, and to share responsibility for creating a better world. I think that's why we come to Sunday morning worship. To be cleansed of our heartache and to be reminded of what is good. You are good, and we are good together. And that is how we keep on keeping on. Welcome to worship this morning. It is so good to be together.
Before we sing our opening song, if you'd like to rise and greet your neighbors, say hello. together. We can take our teal hymnal. We'll sing Blue Boat Home, number 1064.
I'm going to invite Benji up to light our chalice. John, will you help him? Thank you. John is going to help you, Benji. We come from many places, along different paths, bringing different truths. We come with different histories and different realities. And yet, we come together as one people, with faith that we can use our differences to heal ourselves and each other, to bring wholeness to a fractured world. We come seeking to find community, to find acceptance of just who we are. In this place, we may find others who are much like us and others who are much different. May our lit chalice remind us that we are a people taught by different stories, with many voices, but always one people working for a world where love creates justice and justice gives birth to peace. Please join me in our affirmation. We believe in love. We believe in truth. We believe in helping others. We believe in the sacredness of life.
With the divine. Time for all ages. Why not? Moral support? Guys, anyone else that wants to come up feeling like they're in a childlike mood is welcome too. I'm glad you're all here. Today is the first Sunday in April, which means a new theme, and a theme is an idea that we focus on for the month. And for April, it's interdependence. It's a long word that means we need others, and others need us. Our theme ties into our seventh principle, which we can say as we believe in caring for our planet Earth, the home we share with all living things. Not only with other people, all living things, from the giant to the tiny. Now, we Cape Codders live with the ocean close by, and we have the opportunity to help care for the ocean and the creatures that live in it. My wife, Marcia, and I enjoy walking along the beaches, and this time of year, we look for, and sometimes actually rarely see, from shore North Atlantic right whales. They come to Cape Cod waters to feed. For me, it's an awesome experience to see these amazing giant animals. I recently watched a video that explained the interdependence between whales and the overall health of the ocean. As they move through the depths, they are important to the health of the area that they visit, like Cape Cod Bay. Whales dive deep to feed. When they dive, they pick up nutrients from what they're eating. Then they come to the surface. They breathe, they rest, they digest, and then what happens after you digest your food? Poop. The whales poop. So, I've been on whale watches, and there's always excitement in the boat when the whales poop. Always. Nutrients that have been locked away in the depth for years now come to the surface because there are nutrients in whale poop. Whales are basically fertilizing their own garden, bringing nutrition from below for small sea creatures so there can be more fish, more seabirds. And I especially love watching northern gannets dive into the ocean. They're so cool. The movement of nutrients up from the depths has been termed the whale pump. It provides fertilizer for tiny creatures called phytoplankton, right? So we're trying to care for all the creatures, huge whales, tiny, phytoplankton. I'll say it right. Maybe. These creatures generate about half the oxygen in the air that we breathe. So, whales are doing their part to bring us oxygen because they poop. Yay, whale poop! We can do our part to help the whales by being careful when we visit the ocean so we don't put trash in the water, and we could even pick up trash that isn't our own. Now, when you go downstairs, Twinks has activities that you can choose from to learn more about that big word, interdependence. And if you're interested in watching the video that has beautiful footage of whales and has more about the whale pump, the link is in the order of service on the back. So parents, anyone loving whale videos? You'll have your chance. Don't do it on your phone now, please.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Before we go downstairs, I am going to invite Willa to light our lantern so that we can take the light of your love downstairs to our classes with us. Follow Willa downstairs as we sing our children out.
Children, may you go out in peace. Children, may you go out in joy. Love. This morning's offering is a split plate with POCA, P-O-C-C-A, Protect Our Cape Cod Aquifer. POCA's mission is to protect Cape Cod water and keep it safe, to educate residents, businesses, and public agencies about the hazardous chemicals in our environment. Our website's on the order of service. Your offering will benefit this organization and the work of First Parish. You can make out your checks to FPBUU with split plate on the memo line. And there's a text to give number in the order of service as well. It's time for our offering. We're grateful for your offering, and grateful people are generous people. May the ushers come forward.
Now is the time to let go of thought and space and enter into a spirit of meditation, letting yourself go within, to be followed by a time of silence. I invite you to sit comfortably in your pew, to rest your feet on the floor, to look downward or close your eyes if you prefer, and take a few deep breaths with me. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Everything needs everything in our universe. Nothing is its own entity. Therefore, what you see is an object which has been created with the support of every life force. A flower is not simply a flower. The flower cannot exist without the sun, the water, the earth, the seed. The cup of soothing tea in your afternoon could not exist without the plant, the growers, the potters, the conditions that ultimately become what you hold in your hand, what you feel on your tongue, what you taste. And we too are more than what is visible. We are our parents, our histories, our traumas, and our joys. We belong to each other and to the world in ways that are sadly overlooked in our culture of competition, greed, hubris, and toxic individualism. When we recognize ourselves in the earth turned over for new possibilities, in the leaves greening on the trees, in the soft rain and the hard, in the coming and going of the seasons, as we too are coming and going, we can then fear less and hope more. We can love greater and richer and with less despair. This is the lesson we might have learned from First Peoples. Everything is circular. We take our place in the circle of all life, everyone, every living being. Amen.
Just realized I have this mic. I don't have to stand behind the pulpit. A little context for today's reading, as you may not know about Jim Valvano, although I'm sure some of you do. In 1983, Jimmy V, as he was known, coached the North Carolina State Tar Heels to the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. The game had a dramatic and exciting finish and was one of the biggest upsets in championship game history. Marcia and I were fairly close to being newlyweds at the time. We were married a little more than a year. Sharing a hotel room in Florida after walking around either Disney World or Epcot Center, I don't remember. So we were sharing the room while the game was on, and my scream at the end of the game woke her out of a sound sleep. Of course, it made the moment a little more memorable for me. Probably her too. Valvano's also remembered for an inspirational and memorable speech delivered at the 1993 ESPY Awards while terminally ill with cancer. During the speech, he announced the formation of the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Since its inception in 1993, the V Foundation has allocated over $353 million in grants for cancer research across the nation, solidifying its position as a leading advocate for innovative cancer research. Today's reading is an excerpt from that speech. So Coach Valvano said, "To me, there are 3 things we should do every day. We should do this every day of our lives. Number 1 is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number 2 is think. You should spend some time in thought. And number 3 is you should have your emotions move to tears. Could be happiness, could be joy. But think about it. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day. You do that 7 days a week, you're going to have something special." So ends today's reading. Now, what may be either a relief or disappointment, I'm not going to talk about whale poop anymore. I'm not done with whales, though. About 6 years ago, I read an article about whales in Atlantic Magazine I found surprising. The article begins with, "Whales are big, whales are long-lived, and whales have paddle-shaped flippers instead of dexterous hands. These 3 traits inexorably lead to a 4th. Over time, whales accumulate a lot of earwax." Yeah, you're surprised too, yeah. So 2 research scientists were studying whale earwax plugs, specifically the stress hormones contained in them. Because whales feed in one part of the ocean and breed while fasting in a different location, the earwax composition changes and the plugs are like tree rings in that they indicate time. Personally, I'm amazed at the out-of-the-box thinking that decided to study whale earwax. And knowing scientific research, how scientific research is funded, somebody approved a grant for that study. We have a grant writing team here at First Parish. I hope they find that study inspirational. Now, here's the part that made me laugh out loud. The research really needed more samples, and finding more whale earwax plugs was proving to be difficult. Then they thought, museums have a lot of stuff. Maybe we can find some samples at the Smithsonian. Now, following in Karen's footsteps of imagination, I imagine the call went something like this. "Hi, I'm doing an oceanographic research project using whale earwax plugs. Got any?" Well, I'm not sure. I don't recall getting such a request before. Let me forward your call to the Oceanic Department. The response, funny thing, we've got drawers full of whale earwax plugs, all neatly cataloged. Awesome, can we check it out? Check it out. Heck, you can have all of it. It's been taking up space for years, and I was just about to throw it away. Imagine the coincidence. If those researchers called about a month earlier, they'd have been out of luck. Or maybe dumpster diving, I don't know. Maybe they don't complete their research and there's no article in Atlantic Magazine, and we wouldn't know that stress hormones in whale earwax correlates when whaling was legal and during World War II. Sometimes we're connected in such weird and surprising ways. And here we are. Thanks for being here. It's rather a miracle we're here. Each of us chose to come or watch remotely this morning because of some experience that led us to Unitarian Universalism, or you were invited to play handpan. And that experience happened because a person or people created it. Maybe you grew up a UU and have your parents or a parent that was instrumental in leading you here. As happened for me, my introduction was a UU wedding on Marcia's side of the family. Now, if I hadn't met Marcia, I wouldn't have been at that wedding. I wouldn't have met Marcia if she and my brother and his then girlfriend weren't co-workers and became friends and housemates. Of course, once I met her, it was inevitable we'd have got together, but these things were unlikely, as well as so many other things that led me years later to move from being unchurched to attending a UU congregation in Springfield. So it's rather a miracle that I'm here. I think it's an even bigger miracle that I'm leading a worship service. Then there's the unlikely set of circumstances simply leading to my existence. My grandparents all had to decide to emigrate from Poland, land in Chicopee, Massachusetts, meet, marry, give birth to my parents. And a terrible, tragic event opened the way for my parents to meet and then marry and bring me into this world. My dad had been previously married. His first wife, Helen, died in childbirth with the baby. And I didn't learn of that until I was an adult. I think about my dad's tragic history from time to time, and that remembrance is always coupled with thinking about his personality. Frank Kelb was a people person, a life of the party person. He loved to laugh and make others laugh. I think he's an example of not letting tragedy define you, going forward with life regardless of the circumstances. I know he carried Helen's memory with him. Towards the end of his life, as he struggled with dementia, he would sometimes ask where Helen was. Yet, he kept his outgoing personality, which was a blessing as his caretakers loved him. And I think that's also an example of interdependence. He needed the care. It must be uplifting to care for someone who can greet you with a smile, maybe make you laugh. And you all have your personal stories, stories of joy, stories of tragedy, stories of coincidence or fate. Stories that occurred because of interdependence between and among people. And somehow, miraculously, it's led us to being all here together now. And here we are. Back when I was in high school, my friend Hank and I would get together. One of us would say, "Here we are." We'd say it with a grin or a little laugh. It's our little inside joke with a serious implication. Now that we're here together, what are we going to do? Now, being an active member here at First Parish Brewster provides many opportunities of things to do. Activities that help provide purpose and meanings in our lives, activities of caring for our planet and other people, hopefully activities that can bring us laughter, which can give us something to think about and even move us to tears. These opportunities exist because we work together to build community. We depend on each other to build community. On our website, there's a page entitled FPBUU Committees Contacts List. There's 36 groups listed with the name of who to contact if you have questions or desire to be involved. And that doesn't even include chestnuts, Judy. That's a lot of interdependence. Now, much activity centers around Sunday worship. The order of service lists our greeters and ushers, the flower provider, the people who provide food and beverage after coffee hour. Fair trade coffee and chocolate are available. Gift cards from grocery stores can be purchased. The parish room itself has art displays, and flyers for various events are often available. Currently, the art of member Carl Weiss is being displayed. Had the Friday night, Marcia and I came for the grand opening. It's beautiful art. Very talented man. A CYM team led by Twinks provides education for youth that is centered around UU values. And there's the worship team. We have sound technicians, guest musicians. It's a delight to have Ricky Hilson here today. I attended his workshop yesterday morning. Tried my hand at the tongue drum. He had it up. You know, he was playing the tongue drum for Spirit of Life, and of course, listening to the handpan. And thank you, other handpan players. And I enjoyed listening to it yesterday and this morning. All these activities provide terrific opportunity to show gratitude to so many people here that make Sunday mornings lively and joyful. Gratitude. I thought maybe the batteries died. It's good. There's another mic there. We got plan B. It's okay. I'll take this moment to recognize the folks in the office who do the behind-the-scenes tasks. The Cove team is led by our interim minister, Karen Anderson, and our administration and finance director, Karina Stroh. The volunteers are Skip Bell, Susan Flaws, Betty Hayes, Marilyn McDermott, Susan Smith, Bob Spencer, and I'm looking at you, Jeff Talmadge. Now, Bob Flanagan's another co-volunteer who's currently otherwise occupied, I'll say. But I hope you're watching, Bob, and doing well with your recovery. If I left someone out, it's an opportunity to update Breeze. Now you may ask, what does Cove do? And with apologies to Nat King Cole, I wrote a little song parody to recognize their effort and talent. Kaeza, the introduction, please. C is for communication skills. O is for all of the office thrills. V for volunteers, so extraordinary. E is excellence like none that you have seen before. And Cove sends out the weekly news to you. Cove, more than an order of service or two. Cove on time will take your name and won't misspell it. Cove works well for me and you. Thank you, silly people. During the Grammy Awards telecast, the Recording Academy's CEO, Harvey Mason Jr., spoke. During his speech, Mason pointed to the unification of music as an art form and called for an end to the violence at music festivals. Let us all agree that music must remain the common ground upon which we all stand together in peace and harmony, he said, because music has always been one of humanity's great connectors. Think about it. Every song that we're honoring or hearing tonight moved someone, no matter where they were from or what they believed. It connected them to others who were moved in the same way. Mason then referred to the stringed cornet softly playing under him as an example. As individuals, they sound really good, but together, they achieve something beautiful they could never do apart. These musicians of Palestinian, Israeli, and Arab descent are here playing together, and now is the time for us, for humanity, to play together and to come together with empathy and with love. Music, as well as being an integral part of our worship, is certainly an example of interdependence. It's obvious that a musical group is interdependent on each other. What may not be as obvious is that the listener also influences the musicians. When I'm singing in the choir, looking out into the congregation, seeing your faces, how you're reacting to the music you're making, I feel a deep connection between us. Then it's the physical experience. I'm listening to the other voices around me and the instrumentalists as well. Those sound waves are not only coming into my ears, they're hitting and entering my whole body. I'm also watching Kaeza's direction. She's moving her arms to keep the choir in sync. How she moves her arms provides clues to the dynamics of the song. Her hand gestures provide more clues, such as when to cut off. Her facial expressions remind us of the emotion within the piece and to express our emotions as well, helping us to connect with you, the listener. Then, of course, there's looking at the score to know what pitch is needed, to know the words, pronounce the words correctly, which is tricky when we're singing in Latin. There's so much going on. I need a lot of practice to handle all that complexity. And I try to get as close to memorizing my part as possible to minimize the need to look at the score. And when it goes well, it feels natural and simple. It's really a mystical experience for me. And because it's your listening. You're silly and you're mystics. I've covered a lot of ground. I've touched on whales, basketball, cancer research, laughter, thinking, crying, miracles, volunteerism here at First Parish, making music, and simply listening. All tying into how we're interconnected and interdependent with and on each other, and with the natural world as well. Reverend Karen will dig deeper into that. Whatever you are doing, whether it's as simple as listening or as ambitious as starting a cancer research fundraising foundation, and the infinite possibilities in between, you are valued here and you are loved. Well, at least we try. Now, let's make some more music here together. Judy Gillette is coming up, play ukulele with me, and Kaeza will play bass, multi-talented Kaeza. The lyrics to our closing song are on the back of the order of service. You're all invited to sing with me if you wish. Listening is great too. Yes, you can stand as you are able, or if you would like to. So Stand By Me was a hit for Benny King in 1961, and inspiration came in part. Yeah, you don't have to come up, singers. Just scatter about so the congregation can hear you better. The timing's a little tricky in this song, but we'll muddle through it. It's okay. So Stand By Me was a hit for Benny King in 1961, and inspiration came in part from Psalm 46, which in the King James Version of the Bible contains the line, "Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea." It's important to acknowledge that this song, like so much older and even newer music, contains ableist language in the title and throughout. In this song, I take the phrase "stand by me" metaphorically as a reminder that our existence is interdependent and centered in love. 63 years after its recording and thousands of years after the psalm was written to inspire it, Stand By Me still brings inspiration. Our daughter Tina will wed her fiancé later this year, and Stand By Me is their song. Oh, well, it stayed in tune. When the night has come, the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. When the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountain should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Take it, Judy. Darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Surprise ending there. Thank you all for listening, and you're invited to hold hands for the benediction. Darlings, as we go together in gratitude. May we all laugh. May we all spend some time in thought. May we all be moved to tears. Go in peace.